Imagine a world where love knows no boundaries, where an animal defies every rule of nature to save the one they call family. What would you do if you witnessed such a miracle? Hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, because stories like this remind us of the extraordinary bonds that make life beautiful. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. Sarah wiped the sweat from her brow as she scanned the dry, barren landscape of northern Nevada. The air was thick with tension. At 35, Sarah had spent over a decade rescuing wild horses, but this time felt different. A pregnant mare had been separated from her herd during a wildfire and was now trapped in a narrow canyon. "We need to move fast," Sarah told her assistant, Mark. "That fire is less than 3 miles away." They found the exhausted mare, huddled against a rock wall, her body trembling with contractions. "The timing couldn't have been worse. She's in labor," Sarah whispered, approaching slowly. For the next hour, they worked tirelessly to keep the terrified horse calm as she gave birth to a tiny colt with a distinctive white star on his forehead. But just as the newborn struggled to stand on wobbly legs, disaster struck. The mare collapsed and died within minutes, leaving her foal orphaned. "We can't leave him," Sarah insisted, wrapping the trembling foal in blankets and carrying him to safety. Back at her small rescue operation nestled in the Sierra Nevada foothills, Sarah named the fragile colt Blaze. Without a mother's milk, his survival seemed uncertain. "We'll bottle feed him every 2 hours," Sarah promised her volunteers as she mixed a special formula for the little one. That night, something unexpected happened. Max, Sarah's 3-year-old border collie, wandered into the stall where Blaze lay sleeping. Gently, Max nuzzled the foal, offering warmth and comfort. To everyone's amazement, Blaze responded by stretching his muzzle toward the dog. From that moment on, Max became more than just a companion. He became a guardian, teaching Blaze how to trust, play, and even communicate. Their bond grew stronger each day despite their differences. As Blaze grew into a spirited young stallion, his behavior remained uniquely influenced by Max. They played fetch in their own clumsy way, grazed together, and even developed a language only they understood. When Blaze got too rambunctious, Max would gently nip at his legs, and Blaze would immediately settle down. If Max wanted attention, a single bark was enough to bring Blaze running. Every night, they slept curled up together, proving that family isn't defined by species, it's defined by love. But challenges lay ahead. As Blaze approached his first birthday, Sarah faced a difficult decision. Most yearlings were introduced to other horses to learn proper social skills before being released or adopted. But when Blaze met the herd, he panicked, calling desperately for Max. Their separation seemed impossible. After much deliberation, Sarah created a special enclosure for Blaze, complete with a custom dog door so Max could come and go freely. Years passed peacefully, until a wealthy benefactor visited the sanctuary. Jefferson Brooks, a renowned horse trainer, was captivated by Blaze's intelligence. He offered Sarah a donation large enough to save dozens of Mustangs in exchange for taking Blaze to Kentucky. Torn between her heart and her duty to the sanctuary, Sarah finally agreed. The day Blaze left, Max sensed something was wrong. He paced anxiously as Blaze stepped into the trailer, trusting his canine brother's encouragement. But once the door closed, Max's distress was immediate. He howled, scratched, and chased the vehicle until it disappeared down the road. Days turned into weeks. Both animals declined. Blaze stopped eating, and Max refused food altogether, waiting endlessly for his friend's return. Then disaster struck. Heavy rains caused flash floods, cutting off access and leaving the sanctuary stranded. During the chaos, Max went missing, last seen heading toward a swollen creek. Meanwhile, over 1,000 miles away, Blaze grew increasingly agitated. One night, he broke free from his stall and began traveling west, navigating rivers, highways, and unfamiliar terrain. His journey spanned over 1,000 miles, driven by an unbreakable bond. When Blaze finally reached the sanctuary, he didn't head for home. Instead, he led Sarah to a dangerous ravine where Max was trapped on a narrow ledge. Injured and weak after 2 weeks without food, Blaze had returned not for the sanctuary, but for his brother. With no time to waste, Sarah and her team devised a daring plan. Using Blaze as a living anchor, They lowered a rescuer down to retrieve Max. Throughout the operation, Blaze stood firm, bracing himself instinctively, as though he knew exactly what was at stake. When Max was finally pulled to safety, Blaze released a sound unlike anything anyone had ever heard, a mix of whinny and bark, filled with pure relief. 3 months later, the sanctuary unveiled a new habitat built specifically for Blaze and Max, a testament to their unbreakable bond and the lessons they taught the world about love and connection. Visitors came from across the country to witness their story, inspired by the idea that family transcends species. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Share your thoughts. Stories like these remind us of the power of unconditional love and the incredible lengths we go to for those we care about. Love has no boundaries. It can bridge gaps, defy logic, and create bonds that last a lifetime.